Hello everyone, my name is Beth and this is my Flosstube number 4. Alright, we are going to jump right in because I have very little time. I have maybe 30 or 40 minutes because I am on my way to the theater tonight. I don't know why I said that so weird, but I'm very excited. I'm going to see Dear Evan Hansen, which I cannot wait for. So, I gotta hurry up and record this so that I can get there on time because people late to the theater is maybe one of my biggest pet peeves. Do not come in the opening number. That's very annoying. All right, so starting off with things that I've learned this week. So, two things really. First thing was that I kitted up my first project from Stash. This was really cool for me. Really from Fabric Stash. Ever since I started stitching, I've really been buying what I need for each project. And I started out with, rolls of Ada from Michaels. And so I was able to start things more easily from that. But as I have come to realize, that is not the nicest fabric to work on. Not that there's anything wrong with it, just that I prefer some nicer Ada if I'm going to use Ada. But ever since I've been shying away a little bit more from using the cheaper Ada on the roll fabric, I haven't really been able to just start things on a whim. And I was able to do that in this last couple of weeks, which was really cool. I had some fabric scraps that I had ordered. Back when I was starting my first Haid, I was trying to decide what count I wanted to work on and how many threads and that kind of thing. And also I had never really worked with linen or even weave, and so I wanted to get some different things so I could understand the difference. And so I got a bunch of different, I got like 25 count, 32 count, 25, 28, and 32 count of some Lugana, some Joblin, some linen from 123 Stitch. And I got it in like whatever the smallest size that 123 Stitch sells, which I would highly recommend doing. It was very helpful for me to get to just try different fabrics with different thread counts and using different numbers of strands on those thread counts, trying over 1, trying over 2, just seeing how I liked it. And I had all of those fabric scraps left over, and one of them was just the right size for my Galleria 2019. So the little freebie pattern I got from So Much to Love, I got to start, and that was really fun to get to start that from Stash. The other thing that I learned this week is I did a lot of frogging, which was really frustrating. And my lovely friends over in the Hufflepuff chat room for Magical Stitches helped me figure out that Scotch tape was the best thing to use for getting out all the little fuzzies after you've frogged a bunch. And surprise, it worked. So that was very cool, and I will definitely be using that again. Hopefully not soon though, because oh man, so much frogging. But I will get to that when I talk about my whips. So I was a little bit frustrated this week because I did not finish my Magical Stitches homework. I know there was more than usual, but I just didn't get that much stitching time this week. The previous week, though, I stitched a ton, which was fantastic. Most of it was on Emerald City, which you will see. And yeah, that felt really great. So it softens the blow a little bit that this past week wasn't as great because the week previously was fantastic. Also this week, I cleaned out my craft supplies like I talked about on my last video. And oh my gosh, I was overwhelmed with how much stuff I had. I clearly hadn't cleaned out my craft supplies since high school. Probably since I moved to college. Because I had a lot that I didn't even recognize and that I have not touched in years. So it was both very overwhelming, but also very cathartic to clean that out. I had a lot of scrapbooking stuff because I used to scrapbook like way back in the day. And I'm able to get rid of just about all of that because I just know I'm never going to touch that again. I used to make cards as well. So I have, rubber stamps and lots of card stock and all that sort of stuff. So I'm hoping to be able to find some friends to be able to pass that along to and not have that clutter up my craft drawers anymore. I also had a ridiculous amount of colored pencils. I had a bunch of like adult coloring books, and that's just not what I spend my time on. I'm not very good at it. I mean, I can color in the lines, but I don't know. I always feel like I don't enjoy it as much as I would like to. So just about all of that I'm getting rid of. I had like maybe a little bit of jewelry making that I got rid of. I had like a calligraphy set that I got rid of. I used to bullet journal a lot, and I really haven't been doing that. So I didn't get rid of everything from that, but I pared down quite a bit. So yeah, it felt great. I definitely kept some stuff that wasn't cross-stitch, but not a whole lot, which I feel like the crafts that I have that aren't cross-stitch, I can actually see what I have and actually be able to work on stuff. So I have a badger-shaped pillow that a friend of mine gave me. It's like a kit to hand sew. So I'm excited to get to work on that. I hadn't forgotten about it, but it was definitely like toward the back of my mind. And now that I've seen it, I'm like, oh yeah, I really want to work on that. So I'm excited to do that. I have some metal earth kits that are like the little metal pieces that fit together and form sculptures. I have a bunch of those that I've never done that I'm really excited to work on. I uncovered my knitting, which I've been a little bit hesitant to get back into, but I'm feeling like maybe I would like to. So that might happen. So yeah, now I'm actually feeling excited about my crafts again. And my cross-stitch stuff and my like finishing stuff for cross-stitch and all that has a place now where I can see everything. I don't think it's the final organization. The drawer is a little bit full, but it's definitely much better than it was, which is great. And I know that my boyfriend is very appreciative of the less falling out everywhere cross-stitch supplies situation. Speaking of my boyfriend, I just need a minute to say how fantastic he is. Because on Sunday, while I was cleaning out my crafts, I was telling him about how I wanted to scan in all of my physical charts, which I told you guys about last video. And we had just uncovered the flatbed scanner. It actually wasn't in storage. It was in a box that was in our apartment. And so we pulled that out, and I tried to connect it to my computer, and I couldn't get it to work on my computer. So we just tested it on his computer. And after we tested it, he was like, well, do you want me to scan in your stuff? I was like, oh, you don't have to do that. It's going to be a ton of work, and like I don't want to put you through that. Just if you can set me up with your computer sometime, I'll work on it. And he was like, no, we're sitting in front of the football game, like what else am I gonna do? So he scanned in all of my physical charts, which is a binder this big of physical charts. He scanned in all of them. It was over 100 pages of scanning. And the ones that were multi-page, he stitched them together in Photoshop so they're all one file, and I am so lucky. I'm so lucky. So I'm absolutely thrilled to have all of my physical charts digitized, and just so lucky. All right, so let's move into what I worked on in the last 2 weeks. First, we're going to go with starts, which of course I did not put at the top of my pile, because why would I? And as I mentioned, the Galleria 2019 freebie. So, not much, but a bit. And I want to be careful about showing this because I don't have a cover image or anything. But I think if I hold it far enough back, I can show you. So that's what it looks like. And so I just started at the top. And with this one, as you can see, there are like people in it. And I think I'm going to cut those out. So the top is like the iconography for Galleria, which is like an awning. And then under that it says, "The fun never ends when stitching with friends." So I think I'm just going to do the awning and the words at the bottom and not do the people holding hands. So that's that project. Oh, another note about this. I'm stitching this on 32 count beautiful beige linen. I don't know. I know this came from 123 Stitch, but other than that, I don't know who makes it. I gotta prevent my computer from going to sleep while I'm doing this. Whoops. And it's really stiff, and I did not think I was gonna like this. I was kind of like, well, it's all I've got, so I guess I'll use it. And I am impressed with this fabric. This is really the first linen that I've stitched on that I haven't been disappointed with. Maybe it's because it's sturdier. I thought I wouldn't like that, but I really do. So, yeah, lesson learned on that one. I have it in my lemon Love You More sleeve. So, that was a start. Hoping to work on that a little bit more soon because I want to commemorate my time at Galleria, and also that's a pretty small project, so it would be nice to get a finish on that. I did not finish anything in the last 2 weeks, but here is what I worked on. So I've got this one. I'm going to take this one out of the... Sorry, I'm going to put the needle to the back so you can see it a little bit better. And I'm going to take it out of the Q-snap because it's too big for the Q-snap, and I want you to be able to see all of it. So this is Emerald City. This is the project that I have been probably the most focused on lately, mostly because I've just been having a great time on it. It's really good at fitting challenges for magical stitches. And I'm gonna drop all the pieces onto the floor. And also because I hate being behind. So this is what it looks like. So I'm making pretty good progress, I think. I made progress both down and up. So I had been working just on the lower part. I'm going to show that first. So I worked on the tornado a little bit, and Dorothy. I forget what I'd shown you since last time. I'm doing the tornado in a variegated DMC, so that's fun. And then I moved upward as well, and I did that for some Magical Stitches homeworks. So yeah, making good progress on this, and just absolutely loving it. Next, I worked on this piece. I don't know if I've ever shown this piece before. I hadn't brought it out in quite a while. This is one of the pieces that I have under 2,000 stitches left to go. So it's nice to get time on this project because I feel like I make really good progress when I work on it, especially when I'm stitching in a solid color. And because it gets me even closer and closer to a finish. So this will say, but first, tea. And so I've still got more flowers to go up here. I worked a little bit on this like coral flower here. And then I worked on bringing this black down. And yeah, the black is pretty quick. So honestly, I had kind of let this project go stale because I wasn't really having fun with it. And when I pulled it out this time, I don't know why I wasn't having fun with it, because I'm having fun now. So maybe it was good that I got a little bit of a break on it, because I'm loving it again. So I don't know when I'm going to bring that out next, but I'm hoping it will be soon. Next, I worked on my Old Faithful project. And I finished the border. That's really all I did. But I worked on this for a Magical Stitches homework, and it got me, like, I don't know, 100 stitches away from finishing the border. And so I just had to go ahead and finish it because I was terrified that it wasn't going to match up. And I think this is the first time I'm doing a border without a grid. And so, yeah, I was really worried it wasn't going to match up. But it did, and everything was fine. So, very happy about that. I double and triple checked on this project with my counting. So, I guess I'm not surprised, but I'm happy that it matched up. Flying through whips. Now we have, I think this might be, yeah, so this is my last whip from the last 2 weeks. And I worked a lot on this one too. This is my Pride and Prejudice piece. And that is what it looks like. So yeah, this is quite a bit can't speak. This is quite a bit of progress from when you saw it last. This is the piece that I did all my frogging on. And it was very frustrating. And I'll show you why. So, you see the start of the words right here? So they're under that little rosebud. Well, I lined up my letters underneath a rosebud, but the wrong one. I lined them up under this one right here. And I finished the letters. I finished them. And then I went to put in this rose, and I just counted off the bottom of the K. I was like, why is this rose so much closer to the letters than this one? And then I looked back, and I was confused, and then I sort of realized what I'd done, and I just stared at it in horror. And then took a deep breath and proceeded to pull out all the letters and do them all again. So that was nearly 200 stitches of frogging, and it made me real sad. But I finished it, all the stitches are put back, and I've moved on. Everything is all right. It wasted basically 2 days of work on this project. One day for all the stitching that didn't count for anything, and then one day to pull it all out. And yeah, real bummer. So that was what I worked on in the last 2 weeks. I am really excited about what I've been working on, especially my sals, and I'm hoping to continue to make good progress on them as we go. Oh, I got out the picture of my Old Faithful piece, and I didn't show it to you, so let me do that real quick. I've made a mess of all my things. Shocking. So that's what it'll look like. Yep. All right. So moving on from whips, as I said, we gotta get going. I'm doing okay on time. I did some shopping this week. I know I think I said in my last video that I was like done shopping for a while. I wasn't. I don't know what happened. I did some shopping on 123 Stitch, and I did some shopping on Etsy. And I'm only going to show 123 Stitch today because I'm running out of time, and also because I want to spread my haul out, because really it was a lot. So, let's start with what I bought from 123 Stitch. I got this beautiful piece. Sorry, I'm bumping my microphone here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. This is Ebenezer's Christmas by Erica Michaels. And I'm a huge fan of A Christmas Carol. And I'm doing the huge A Christmas Carol Haid. But this, I thought, this only has like a few colors in it. And let's see if it says... yeah, it has like it has like five colors in it, maybe. It looks like there's options for silk or cotton. So I think maybe this will stitch up kind of quickly and be really, really fun. So I don't have fabric for this. I don't have floss for this. I don't know. Clearly I was feeling the winter theme because I also got a couple of things from the Drawn Thread. So I got this little Merry Christmas with the birds on it, and I'm excited about that. And I got something that I have had my eye on for a long time that I was kind of afraid of, and something in me was like, just do it, just go for it. I got the Winter Garden. And I've had my eye on pretty much all the gardens for a long time, but I think this one is my favorite. And I was clearly in the winter theme, so I'm looking forward to this one. Again, I have no idea when I'm going to start it. I'm a little bit intimidated with all the specialty stitches. I think I might try and do a smaller piece that I am not feeling so attached to with specialty stitches so that I can practice them a little bit. But yeah, I'm looking forward to working on that one someday. And then I got two little kits. That's only one of them. Here we go. I got two little kits. One of them is this Dimensions Christmas tree. And I've been wanting to do ornaments for a while. And this one seemed small and easy and cute. So I'm going to do that one. And I got a Mill Hill kit. This little Santa here. And when I bought it, I don't think I realized that the whole beard is beaded. But yeah, the whole thing is beaded. I think the only part that isn't beaded is like his face, like his cheeks. Even his eyes are beaded. But his hat is real cute and his beard is real cute. I don't think I'm going to put this star on. I don't really like how that looks, but I think I should be able to get by without putting it on. So that's the plan. And these, I think, my computer went to sleep again. Rude. These, I think I'm going to work on this winter. I think I'll be able to finish them in just a couple of stitching sessions, and those will be fun to put on my tree or give as gifts. And then last but not least, this I did not buy this week, but I received it this week. And you guys know how excited I am for this. We have my fabric for the Tiny Modernist Christmas sale. It's big. I can't even fit it all in the frame. I don't believe it needed to be this big. But I either had trouble finding it in a smaller size or like the smaller size was just slightly too small. I forget. But yeah, I don't think it's this big. But now I can finally start that. The funny thing is, I haven't bought the chart yet. So that's another thing we're going to be adding to my haul for next time. Of course. All right. So then we have some pin mail. And I love this one. I can't wait to show you. This is from Studio Pins and Paper, which I've showed pins from in the past. And this one, I thought, I had seen it on their Instagram a lot, but I thought they were totally sold out because it wasn't in their Etsy shop. Well, one day I just decided to check their website, and they had some. So they just didn't have them on their Etsy. So that was a good lesson learned for me. If I'm looking for something and I don't see it on Etsy, it doesn't mean that a seller doesn't have it available. So it's this, and since it's shiny, it's really hard to show it. But this is Dolores Umbridge's nameplate on her door with Moody's eye in it. And it's a little googly eye. The eye googles. How goofy is this? I love it so much. The juxtaposition of like how fancy the gold plating looks versus the googly eye in the middle. I love it. So it says Dolores Umbridge, Senior Undersecretary to the Minister. And I'm obsessed. I love it so much. So that was my pin mail for the week. Now let's get into plans. So as I said, I've been really enjoying my sals. I don't know if I'm going to be able to start the Tiny Modernist sal until November, which probably means I think the last part of it comes out in November, so probably all the parts will be available by the time I start. Maybe it goes into December. I have to check. But I have to finish as much Magical Stitches extra credit for September and October that I can. And I just can't get the Christmas sal to fit for that, for what I have left at least. So that's okay. That'll be a fun start for November. And I have been talking about really wanting to start my Hildy's Brew. So that is going to be coming up this week or next. Definitely by Halloween, I'll be starting it. And hopefully I'll get to work on it on Halloween. That'll be fun. And then my Emerald City, I will definitely be working on. Pride and Prejudice, maybe if I can fit it into, if I can fit it into the homework for next week. It did not fit for the homework for this week. I'm gonna bring out Old Faithful again because one of the Magical Stitches homeworks for this week is to do with water, so that's a perfect opportunity to bring out Old Faithful and get some progress on it that is not just border. And then if I finish all of the assignments that I have with those projects, I have some extra credits that I can use Hildy and Emerald City for. Then if I still have time, I will probably be starting my Bah Humbug, which is again a Christmas Carol piece. And if I have time, I might try to insert a picture of what it looks like. But that might make it in. I have it slated for some extra credits, so I'm looking forward to starting that one. I have it kitted at least with fabric, hopefully with floss, and if not, I need a Michaels run anyway because I am running out of the the teal color, the darker green color that I'm using in Emerald City, and I literally just bought more of the light green color, like last week. I don't know why this always happens to me. I run out of floss like on alternating weeks, and I don't pay attention to how much floss I have, or I have less than I think I do, or I don't know. But I just restocked and now I need to go again. So that's great. But it's a good opportunity because I have not checked if I have everything I need to start Hildy. I know I don't have the etoile for that, and I don't have the thread for the border. But that's okay. I can totally get started without those. So if that's all I'm missing, then I'm not going to worry about that yet. So yeah. Wow. This was a speedy video, but I really got to get going. So perfect timing. Thanks for hanging out with me, y'all. Thanks for commenting on my videos and watching. And I'm having so much fun making these. And I hope you're having fun watching them and hanging out with me. So I hope you have a fantastic week. And if I don't come back here before Halloween, have a fun Halloween. Bye.